then Sunday wasn't, I mean, bad, but a little bit of rain and
chilly.
Tidbit nippy.
Sorry, actually drinking coffee on Coffee Club, and it went the wrong way.
It happens. All right. Let's think. If you want to pick our sponsors, or do you want me to do that? Yeah. Send it over here if you.
The Godfather sponsor list this morning.
Yeah.
On the day of Mediview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Rosa's, I got to overcome, Fox Burley Wealth Management, Dr. Black's, I Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Marshall Monuments, McAllister Land Consulting, First Harrison Bank, Louisville Bats, Neck Hospital, Springs Valley Bank and Trust, and Temple and Temple.
Yay. Thank you to our great sponsors. Today is Memorial Day, and this is actually when we honor and we thank the veterans or the that have fallen, or fallen veterans.
Remember those who
have fallen,
gave their life for our freedom.
Yes, exactly. So we will have a ceremony at 11 a.m. always up at Crown Hill Cemetery, and I know there's several around. We are going to be talking with Claude Combs and a lot of great people that they go to the different cemeteries on Memorial Day, and I know we might get a chance to talk to them if they get an opportunity. They're going to call in, but also want to remind you, 11 a.m. at Crown Hill Cemetery, open to the public. It's free, and it's a wonderful ceremony, and they do a great job.
And if you can't go, we'll be live streaming that for you.
Yeah, for sure. All right. And so, and for those that are the day off, this is where we at? We're on to the already the 26th day of May. Yep. Today is Jerusalem Day.
Oh.
Jerusalem Day. And this might be Claude. We'll come back to that in just a minute.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Claude. Claude Combs right here by phone. Claude, and tell us a little bit about where you're at right now.
We just left Smedley, headed to Mount Tabor.
All right, awesome.
So we're on the road. We're a little bit short-handed this year, but we got 7 of us, so we got enough to get the job done.
I love that.
So,
and
we got Dustin Bowles and Gail Liebert and Brad Kelly and Aaron Pruitt, Lonnie Pruitt, and Terry Bennett and myself out here today. So we're on the road, and it's a privilege and an honor to be doing it.
I know. And you got some really good people. You got some good pillars with you there, Claude. Let's go back. What time did you start this morning?
Well, we had the breakfast, up it starts about 6:30, and then and we start 8 o'clock. Smedley's our first cemetery every year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we've got 8 more.
And hats off to all of the ladies making that wonderful breakfast on Memorial Day.
Yeah, the girls, the ladies there in town, they do it, and then Chris Boulay, he comes in and makes biscuits and gravy and stuff for us, and so it's an excellent breakfast and start to a beautiful day and a very important day. I don't know, Christmas is wonderful, and it's a very important day because that's the day Jesus Christ was born, and the days that. And this one's under it right there. This is the people who gave it all for us. We have Memorial Day, and then, we have Veterans Day, which is for all veterans, but this is for those that gave that last full measure.
Yeah. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah. I know you guys always, have a lot hurriness, but kind of tell me a little bit of your ceremony. How does it go?
Well, it's pretty similar, a little shorter version of the burial detail, but we do a memorial prayer, and then we fire the fire rifles over the fallen comrades, and then we play taps, and then we that's pretty much the way the procedure goes.
Right. I love it.
It's a abbreviated version of a funeral detail. Basically, what it is.
Claude, how many years have you been doing this?
This is 57.
I love that. And were you one of the first original that got to do this? Or had this?
Oh, no. This has been going on a lot longer than that,
I love that.
When I started, I had Dewey Cook and Bear Goins, Harold Goins, and Charlie Cooper, and all those old guys that were the one veterans and the two veterans was in the post, and I was at one time the youngest member of the post, and I don't know, there may be one or two out there that's older than me, but I'm right there to the top of the heap now.
Well, no, I love this tradition, and I love that it continues. And what a beautiful ceremony, and for the families too. And the families will show up at the cemeteries with you, along with you.
Yeah, they do. And we have a couple cemeteries, 2 or 3 cemeteries that we have maybe 4 of them that we really have we always have somebody at every one of them, but we have some cemeteries where we have a really nice turnout. It's a great thing for people to get off and have a long weekend and all that kind of stuff. And, but, you need to take a moment and reflect how we got where we are and why we can do that and who paid the price.
Say it louder for the people in the back, Claude. I'm with you. I love it. You're right. Absolutely. Yeah. And so you go to approximately 9 cemeteries. I know you got to hurry. I know. I'm sorry. You're probably almost there. You go to 9 cemeteries.
Yeah. Well, we do 8 cemeteries in the Legion. Finish up at the Legion. So, yeah.
Okay. So where are you going right now?
Tabor. We'll be there in about a minute.
Okay. I knew.
You, Becky.
Yeah, you too. I really do. I love this tradition that we have. And yes, and Claude, you and Jeannie and your whole family have a beautiful Memorial Day. And thank you for bringing this to our attention and calling us this morning.
Okay, you're welcome, hon.
You take care.
Have a wonderful day.
Best day. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, how precious. Love that.
57 years.
I know. 57 years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I love the tradition, and I love that it continues. And I think that means so much to each cemetery, that we've got some beautiful families and cemeteries in our community. And I love that they're honored.
There's a lot of cemeteries in Washington County. I don't know how many, but
yeah, Andy Bush was talking. He actually was talking about all of the different flags on the tombstones, and he had a lot of folks that helped him make sure that each gravesite had a flag. And I'm going to kind of go back what he said, that if you know of someone that did not receive a flag or does not have a flag, please let him know, to make sure that they, take care of that.
One year they had the Boy Scouts out.
They do. I think the Boy Scouts help. I think, but it's really cool now, all the different groups they've got helping, and some individuals, so they, I think, really welcome the help, because like you said, this is a big county. So
now, according to this list, there's, this I'm sure this is approximate, but 42 cemeteries in Washington County.
I believe that.
Roughly. And there's probably some private ones that aren't listed on that.
Yeah. So, today is Memorial Day. I'm going to tell you what today holidays are. Today is also National Blueberry Cheesecake Day.
Let's celebrate that one.
Yeah, blueberry cheesecake. National Cherry Dessert Day. So you could have a cherry cheesecake and then a blueberry cheesecake. Or maybe mix it.
What's the dessert? Cherry Delight?
Yeah. National Paper Airplane Day. Okay. You don't see those often anymore. Sally Ride Day. Sally Ride.
She was an astronaut.
World Dracula Day.
Okay.
I don't know how that one fits in, but that's okay. World Lindy Hop Day. Lindy Hop Day. It's a dance. World Redhead Day. So those are some holidays. Get out and enjoy.
I can tell you on the Dracula, this is the day that Bram Stoker published his book.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. 1897. Wow. 2 years ago. All right. And so was that the very first part of, was that the very first that we heard of Dracula?
Yep, that was there probably were tales.
Tales and tales, but that was like the first.
Yeah. Also, today's a big birthday. John Wayne.
Oh, yeah, the Duke. I was going to try to imitate him, but I can't do it. No, I'm afraid I don't want to. want to do that. All right. So want to remind everybody, yesterday was the big Indianapolis 500, and it was a big one. A lot going on. There was a race, or there were wrecks, there were rain delays, and there was fires. Yeah, fire, and there was a lot of activity.
Driver was not happy. But I think it was a fault, or well, I'm sure it's an accident, but it was the pit crew that they were fueling.
Yeah,
and it caught the fire the car on fire, and he was out. So
yeah,
he was kind of dancing, hopping mad.
Well, you kind of see that whenever I mean,
it's a big deal.
But I mean, you kind of see where that other happens too. They do it in seconds. I mean, doing all that pit crew.
The money. I mean, it's amazing the money and the time that's been spent just to get to that day.
Oh, absolutely.
And then there were 6 wrecks, took out 7 drivers, and they. I mean, it's kind of like.
Yeah, it would be.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, there's
maybe
a filter on
throw the helmet moment, know.
Yeah. And then if somebody wrecks you out, then that you're upset at that person, as we've seen in NASCAR many times.
Yeah, definitely. I thought yesterday watching them, it's always interesting watching the pit crew, watching them take the tires. They took these tires, and it almost looked like I'm gonna say, I know there's words, and I know like people, mechanics that are like, what is she saying? But it looked like almost like a cheese grater. You know how you take a grater and you pull off the cheese, and they were taking off the tires. I mean, they were scraping the tires, and I don't know if that was, I guess that would help make get more of a grip.
Yesterday it was cooler, so normally when the track's hot, then it
grips a little bit better.
It kind of melts the tires a little bit, and they grip to the surface. And yesterday we didn't have that heat. So
I just was watching that guy grade those tires, and I thought that was pretty cool.
And they saved the tires because they're going to go back and study those tires to see how they wore and see if there were any imperfections, and that helps the manufacturer maybe make better tires for next year.
Yeah. And Alex said in the after the in the press conference that he was worried about enough fuel. You think about all the things that are going through their mind. You know, the tires okay? And then he said his crew said he had enough fuel, just enough fuel. I mean, you have to. What if your crew said you didn't have enough fuel?
But if you pit, then you're behind.
I know. There's so many ways to play this, right? I mean, do you just go ahead and let it run on fumes if you have to, right? Yeah.
We learned a lot about that from, I mean, not necessarily being in the know a lot about races, but a lot of people learned about racing from cars.
Oh, you the cartoon version cars,
pitting and being behind and that, and there were some cars yesterday that were I guess they consider lap traffic, or they were a lap or so behind, and the winners at the end, they got into that a little bit, and they slowed down that finish.
Yeah.
And it actually ended on caution.
Yeah.
There was a wreck there at the end.
Yeah. I think the part though, just, listening to your crew and listening, it's so important to have that crew that really, and I would think as a great responsibility. I mean, not only for the driver, but like just making sure the driver stays safe, making sure that there is enough fuel, there is, that everything is going to be okay to cross that finish line. Well, the stress.
they were kind of celebrating Danny Sullivan this weekend, and they were talking about when he won the race back in '85, and they said that the radios weren't that great back then. And he thought they said to go, and they were telling him to pull back or something, but he went for it, and that's when he spun out and got ahead of Mario Andretti. I think it was Mario Andretti, and ended up winning the race. So.
Worked out well for him. It could have gone the other way, though.
Or if they ever told it, they probably didn't tell him right away. We told you no.
Oh, I thought you said go.
I thought you said go.
Easily mistaken. Yeah, right. But
I'm sure the technology is a lot better now.
I don't know, and this is why I'm not a driver, obviously, on that. But I think that I would. Okay, you would know that you can't. You're not going to win if you stop and refuel. So I think I would take my chances to just go. You know what I mean? Because what's to lose? You know what I mean? You're either, either it's going to happen or it's not going to happen, right? So I think I would just, that's my, I guess, go all in, go full throttle. Onward ho we sail, right?
And then this was the first time at Indianapolis for the 500 they had the hybrid car. They had it last year, but not for this race.
Right, yeah.
And I guess it like some cars that are hybrid, road cars, street cars, when you brake, it builds energy, and that energy, I guess, is used, so you're not using maybe the gas.
Yeah.
And this built up in a capacitor, and then the steering wheel probably was a $500,000 steering wheel. It looked like a Nintendo Switch. It has a screen and buttons that you push, and they can that's one of the few things they can customize, because we've talked to the pit crews, and they don't like the fact that everything's such a cookie cutter deal now. But before, they could make changes and enhancements, be original. But the steering wheel they can kind of customize. But and then there's a button on there that it's kind of like a video game. When they come out of a turn, they can give a boost, and that would shoot them, maybe give them a little advantage. So
yeah.
I don't know how it helped or hurt yesterday, but he said it helped. So
yeah. So he's known for a lot of times after races to eat chicken, but he said he's not doing that anymore. Got a little too much.
I don't know.
But he did. He did talk about this was his first oval race win, so that's pretty cool. That was cool, and
we're better to do it.
Yeah, so can't wait to see. His future is very bright. Yeah, so can't wait to see.
He's won 5 of the last 6 Indy races, so
pretty cool.
And people, and that's not Indy 500s, but they're in the Indy Racing Series, so they have, I don't know, 12, 15 races a year season, and so he's won 5 of those. So.
Yeah. So
he just won the Grand Prix last week here at Indy, up at Indy. So.
Right. So we had our governor there. We had Tom Brady there. Let's see, several others, and then they kind of did double duty. They went from, and Alex made it to the Pacers game then last night, which did not end the way we wanted it to end, but
they had a 15-point lead and they kind of blew it, and Knicks came back and won 106-100, but they still lead the series 2-1, and they play tomorrow night. So
But it's amazing how Indianapolis can do this. They had record breaking Indianapolis 500, sold out 500. Just packed, and then the Pacers game back to back, and they did it beautiful. They kept traffic flowing. They kept it going. I think
there were approximately 350,000. I've not heard an exact number, but about 350,000 people. It was the stands were sold out. 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. I don't think anybody, though. I thought everybody really watched the race this time more so. I felt like, because it was so interesting, so much going on. I felt like it really. And prior to the race, we were running late, so we didn't see it. But they had Tom Brady in the pace car, and then they had the helicopters, which was really cool, very cool. So that was pretty neat. But we were running a little late on that, so Sunday programming. But anyway, we did make it up there, and
hard to get
everything. Yeah,
Derek Jeter was there.
Yeah.
Michael Strahan, he I think he started the race. Alex Rodriguez was there from the Yankees. Elvis was there. We always see an Elvis up there.
There were several Elvises. Elvis was everywhere, leaving the building everywhere. Yeah, there were several. Yeah.
Terry Crews was there. He's been in several movies. Keanu Reeves was up there. Rob Gronkowski was there. Several people. Kathy Ireland was there. I think she's maybe from Indianapolis. I don't know. Granny Smith was there.
Yeah, she's the one that started the
She
wiener.
started the weenie.
Well, they had the wiener race, and I don't know if we talked about it enough, but okay. So before the wiener race started, they asked to remove your hats, okay, and they said put your hands instead of over your like the national anthem.
Please.
No, hang on. Hang on. I didn't get to tell you this. So instead of saying put your hand over your heart like you would for the national anthem, they said put your hand on your belly.
Oh,
and they did.
I was afraid.
No, I know. No.
I was afraid.
I know it could have been. That might have been even a little more entertaining. But he paused. He said, "Put your hand on your belly." So anyway, and then I wish I was an Oscar Mayer wiener. That is what I truly like to be. So they sang the song, and then Granny Smith said, I think she said something like,
"Start your wieners."
Start your wieners. Yeah. So. And she gave it. I mean, she was loud. She gave it her all. So that was pretty cool. So anyway, a fun time, definitely. And they had. We were talking about the sense of humor. You have to have, if you drive a Wienermobile, or you're even associated with a Wienermobile, you have to have a fun personality, or you have to be kind of a, right, a fun person. There we go.
Oh, the Mountain Dew guy was there from the Mountain Dew commercials. Get off and then hear the donkey.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I think they had everything covered. Wonderful, well done, and another one in the books for sure. All right, so we are anyway. So great job, Indianapolis, and keeping the traffic flowing, keeping it going, and they had officers everywhere. Well done on that. Yeah.
And I think they have their, like, the Speedway Police. You got the Indianapolis
Police. They got
Metro
State Police.
You got the State Police. You got, I think, the National Guard was there. They had all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I love that.
Very secure.
Very secure. Very good. So well done. Another great.
Purdue Marching Band was there.
Oh,
that was a huge band. They just kept coming.
Awesome. And that drum, they have this like huge drum. They beat. Yeah, it's so cool on that. Yeah, and then the Scottish with their kilts were there. They were playing. Wonderful. Saw one coming down the stairs. I was kind of worried for a moment.
No. I hope you were on the high side of that.
Kept my eyes forward.
He just came from the weenie fiber.
Looking down at my shoes. Anyway, yeah. No mystery, no more. No, just kidding. Lord. Okay. All right. Anyway, this is Memorial Day, and Memorial Day actually brings a lot of grilling out today. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people grilling out. So actually, here is Memorial Day meat each state loves to grill. Okay, let's see where. Okay. They looked up at the type of meat each state bought more than other states for Memorial Day weekend last year. So this poll was taken last year. The most popular options overall are burgers and hot dogs, but we did learn the other day that hot dogs actually overtook hamburgers. Yeah. No, just the opposite. No, because I thought, yes, hamburgers won. Hamburgers won. I thought it would be the other way, but no.
Eat a good hot dog.
I know. But Instacart's list is a little more unique, and here are some highlights. The entire Midwest is obsessed with bratwurst. Which Friday at Indianapolis Carb Day, we got brats, and those were some of the best brats. Were they? Nice. You think they were Oscar Mayer brats? I was trying to figure that out.
I mean, I don't know.
Do they make brats? Oscar Mayer would make brats, right? Right. Oscar Mayer would have brats, right?
I think so. They used to have turkey dogs, but they kind of.
Well, I know that,
no,
but
they still do. They're
but the brats. Yeah. The brats, though, is what I'm saying, because they were some of the best brats. But anyway, we are obsessed with our bratwurst.
They were usually, the bratwurst is like shorter and big around. These were longer and skinny. Yeah, they were good ones.
Really good. Almost every state from Ohio to Colorado bought a ton of brats over Memorial Day weekend last year. Now, whenever we used to do more cooking out, we would always like to have your hamburgers, hot dogs, and then it was just like a few brats, because you always have those people, if you're having a party, that want a few brats. Yes. Number 2, Texas.
Allopurinol, if you suffer from gout.
Yeah, it's true. It always gets you. Yeah, always. But I think that the wonderful thing about, if you're gonna have a bratwurst, you got to have sauerkraut and you got to have the mustard. Yeah, those they just go together.
And they had the good brown mustard.
They did. Yeah. Indianapolis knew how to do it.
Yeah. If you're going to have brats, drink cherry juice, and that'll help you.
Yeah, having my glass of cherry juice with the brats. Number 2, in Texas, California, and most states out west are into steak. Skirt steak in Texas. Look up what skirt steak is. I've never heard of a skirt steak. I don't know what that is. Ribeyes in Arizona, I know, and Idaho. I know.
Oh, that's like if you almost like you slice it real thin. You'd see it like in maybe fajitas.
Now I think I call those, sandwich steaks. I think we call them or something, don't we? Or like
what was that? What were those?
Like the minute steaks? No,
yeah. No. It's a long piece, almost kind of like what we get.
Yeah.
What was that we used to get?
I know. I'm trying to remember. But we'd make like sandwiches out of them.
No,
remember?
I mean it's like a piece, and then you slice it.
Yeah. I don't remember what I would. I surely have to have a name for them. But okay, so those are skirt steaks. Ribeyes in Arizona and Idaho. I know what a ribeye is. Yeah. T-bones in Nevada. T-bones. Mm. I think of Seinfeld, whatever. T-bone. T-bones are in Nevada, Utah, Wyoming, and New Mexico. And beef flap. See what that's in California. Oh, those are actually popular choices for fajitas. But what is the definition of a beef?
Boneless beef cut similar to skirt steak. It comes from the sirloin region of the cow. It's known for its flavor, tender texture, and is often used for fajitas, tacos, or other dishes where thin beef steak is desired. Flap steak is also a good source of protein, relatively affordable compared to other steak cuts.
And that's in California. Then way out west is frozen turkey burgers in Hawaii. Okay.
What, frozen turkey burgers?
In Hawaii. Okay. It says, then way out west, it's frozen turkey burgers in Hawaii.
Oh.
Okay. I'm confused so they don't eat steak? What?
Surely.
Okay. Ribs are
probably do a lot of fish since they're surrounded by the ocean.
See, I always think of like pork. I don't know why. I always think
mahi.
But yeah. Can I just have the one mahi? I'm not so hungry. Let's see here. Ribs are popular across the South. Yep. That includes Alabama. Yeah, I think ribs should be popular everywhere. Mm-hmm. Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, and Tennessee. Now, they had ribs up there yesterday, too, at Indy. Louisiana and Virginia are both into pork butts. Florida is getting fancy with the filet mignon. Ooh, go Florida. Kentucky buys a lot of burger patties. Wonder if it's those pre-made, those burger patties.
JTN.
Yeah. But those things will catch fire, let me tell you. All that grease.
Oh, man.
And it's chicken wings in both Carolinas plus Maryland.
Those things are got to be like, you get like you see like 80-20.
Wait, are you talking about the burgers going back? Yeah.
They're 90-10. They're probably like 40-60.
Oh my goodness.
40% meat and 60%.
When you put one on the grill, I mean, it's like they just the flames.
And they get hard like hockey pucks.
Yeah, they do. They do. Ribs are popular across the South, which includes Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, and Tennessee. Louisiana and Virginia are both. Oh, I already did that. Sorry. Most states in the Northeast are putting meat between bread. Okay. Beef patties in Pennsylvania, New York, and Connecticut, Delaware, Rhode Island, and New Hampshire, turkey burgers in New Jersey, Massachusetts, and Maine, and the one exception is Vermont with country-style ribs. Alaska likes them too.
It's good to know.
I did not know that Alaska likes country-style ribs. Now, see, what would you, I don't know why. Okay. If we're going to, for some reason, I'm stereotyping, never been to Alaska. I think of like fish.
Fish.
Alaska.
Like
yeah.
Crab legs.
I didn't think about crab legs.
Alaskan king crab legs.
Yeah, I should have thought of that. Yeah, yeah. What about lobster? Alaskan.
That'd be more Maine, I
Maine,
think.
yeah.
But they might have them in.
But I always think of like fish, and I'll tell you why I do, because I think of like what's the ice fishing, like that, right? People go ice fishing in Alaska, right? Maybe not.
I don't know.
Like an igloo and then some ice fishing.
Oh,
yeah.
So.
I don't know.
Polar bear.
I'm in for a rude awakening, ain't I?
Polar bear. This is nothing like what I thought.
A moose is walking by, polar bears walking by on the ice. You know what I mean?
I don't know that we're going to.
I don't know. That'd be
We will be up on the glacier.
I don't know. This is different. Yeah. I don't know. 3 states have a serious affection.
Don't lick the ice.
Don't lick.
You'll have to pour water on your.
What's that? I was gonna say.
Oh, you remember?
I know that. I was trying to think of don't kick someone in the ice hole.
Okay.
Say that. I don't know how to say that.
That's how you catch a polar bear.
I know. Yeah, I've heard that before. Mind. Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah. 3 states have a serious affection for chicken burgers. They're all on the Canadian border. Now I went to Canada. I'm sorry. I like that. It was a little different. They wanted to hold us. They wanted to keep us. Canadian.
One in particular.
Yeah. They wanted to keep us. We got to get back to the USA. Washington, Montana, and North Dakota, they're all into chicken burgers. I would eat a chicken burger, right?
Yeah, nobody said anything about the black bean burger.
No. Well, now don't hang on. And finally, 2 hot dogs are the most popular in West Virginia than anywhere else. And vegetarian sausages are big in Oregon. Okay. They also looked at the most popular sides in each state. And it's a mixed bag. But in general, it's potato salad in the Midwest, pasta salad in New England, and out west, coleslaw in the South. Coleslaw. Yeah, that's it. Now, the coleslaw dog actually won the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. It's funny on we are potato salad, and in the Midwest, pasta salad. Although it's hard to find the bow tie pasta anymore. Yeah. So if you're talking about making a pasta salad, your degree of difficulty is finding the bow tie pasta. If you are making a pasta salad in the Midwest. So there we go.
Used to be available, and then all of a sudden.
Yeah. Well, if you remember, it was during COVID. COVID changed the pasta salads a little bit.
Boo.
Well, changed a lot of things, but we try to find the positives. Okay, for some reason we didn't need all that bow tie pasta. Did not need that. Yeah. Let's see here. Some big change here. You want to talk about that? The last pennies.
Oh yeah. They've decided that it costs too much to make pennies.
Oh.
And so the last pennies will be minted. They placed its final order of blanks this month, and once those are minted, they're not making any more. Last pennies are set to roll off production line early next year. It's unwelcome news for penny enthusiasts, especially since today happens to also be Lucky Penny Day.
Yeah.
Actually, wait a minute. It says it always happens on the 23rd. So
that was 2 days ago, Lucky Penny Day. Yeah. We're a little bit off. That's okay.
There's been a push to ditch them for a long time, but not everybody thinks it's a great idea, partly because nickels aren't cheap either. They cost 14 cents. Well, that's a losing game there, isn't it?
Well, yeah, so I guess
the Associated Press headline was the Trump administration says making sense doesn't make sense anymore.
I just don't understand, I guess, the part that I'm at. So how do you find luck, if you don't find that lucky penny?
I think this says there's 114 billion in circulation, plus they're going to make
so they're going to keep them in circulation. You're just not going to make
no
more.
Way they'd take years to get them out.
Yeah.
Unless they had a rebate where you bring a penny in and get a dime or something, which that would defeat the purpose.
Yeah, that'd be kind of
so as soon as I'd say they'll be around for a long time.
Yeah. Well, all right. So let's keep the pennies.
And I've seen people cleaning out their vehicles, and they will pick up junk off their floor and throw them away. And that,
Throw pennies away?
well, I've seen pennies, like when you go to sweep out your car and stuff, there'd be pennies laying there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hate that. I I'm I mean I'm not one of those that throw pennies away, but
I know.
no.
Well,
Count my pennies, right?
we do have we have a
Yeah,
change jar.
absolutely.
The other day, where was it?
It was actually at the
left,
track. Yeah.
Yeah, we left.
We were leaving. Yeah.
What, 8 cents richer than we came?
Yeah, we did. Absolutely. We were ahead for the day.
This lady can find money laying on the ground like nobody's business.
Pennies from heaven, right?
Right.
Okay. Here's some worries and concerns, and I can see where this could come about. Have we forgotten what Memorial Day is all about? Half of us think so. That's why we have Clyde Combs calling in and reminding us, and Andy Bush also reminding us the other day just exactly what Memorial Day is all about. So there's if you're the only one remembering on Memorial Day is to go back for the if your only thing you're remembering on Memorial Day is to go back for the third hot dog, you're doing it wrong and you're not the only one. According to a new poll, half of Americans think Memorial Day has lost its original meaning. 52% think it's true, and they might be right. 40% say remembering Americans' fallen troops is not the first thing they associate with Memorial Day. 60% say it still is, but age matters. Just 48% of the Gen Zers said yes, compared to 76% of the baby boomers. It's obviously okay as also associated with barbecues, summer, and the nice 3-day weekend we've got coming up. Just make sure you take time to honor our fallen soldiers as well. Nearly 1.2 million men and women have given their lives over the past 250 years to put this in place where we can kick back and relax and enjoy that third hot dog. Well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
I think age has a perspective, because when you're a kid, you think of you're into school.
Yeah.
Summer break starts, or maybe you get to go on a trip for around that, because it's usually a 3 or 4 day weekend for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And,
right.
We grew up in the 80s, so that was always like big movies came out then, so that was always something that, but
well, and many years ago in fashion, that was when you can start wearing white, of course.
And now it's
anytime.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
You do you, whatever. I think anything goes.
The white patent leather shoes come out on Memorial Day.
I heard someone say the other day, okay, I can get behind like white jackets, white, any time of year, or pants or clothes or shirts, but the white shoes, do not bring them out till after Memorial Day. But I'm not saying that. You do what you need to do and whatever. I think just so classy, and I think it's absolutely beautiful in wintertime, a beautiful white outfit. I think winter white is just beautiful. I do say that. I know that would, my mom probably, because she was a little bit more
traditional.
Yeah, so she probably would have said.
What traditional? The idea of traditional has changed
quite a bit, yeah. But I don't have a problem. I don't have any problem. If you want to wear white shoes, and I have white boots, so I guess I do wear those a lot in December, so or January, whatever. So
white, you have white rubber boots, white.
Yeah, white boots. Yeah,
white.
Yeah, definitely. But anyway, so that's just kind of that. But I do think that's why I feel like it's to have these programs that they're doing, in the Camelsburg area, that we're doing here in Salem. And I don't want to leave anybody out, but other areas are having different Memorial Day ceremonies. I do believe that that's important to go to, and to maybe if you have younger children, to try to understand. I do think it, and I think talking about it and making sure that people keep a little bit remembering it and bringing it back to the forefront. You know what I mean? I would say like a lot of commercials. There's a lot of sales on Memorial Days. No, I mean, right? And is that when we have always the mattress sale?
One of them. Mattress
sales. There's a lot of. You don't have to buy any mattress. Flip your mattress. How many flips can you get? Anyway, So anyway, mattress day sales, there's like sales. And I think a lot of times and then hot dogs, I mean, all of those commercials are going, which is all good. Nothing wrong with that. Family get togethers, wonderful. People organizing those. I get all that. And I'm that person too. But I think then we just need to also make sure that we are getting that about the ceremonies.
And they back in the old times, this was called Decoration Day, and it started after the Civil War as a time to decorate the graves of Civil War soldiers that had been killed, and then it changed over the years to Memorial Day. But still, there's people out there that will cut fresh flowers or of course, they sell plastic flowers, and people go and decorate the graves of not just those that passed away or were in the military, but just their families. So
right. So anyway,
that's a tradition that's not so much anymore.
Right.
I think a lot of the younger people probably don't do that.
Well, I think it's important, and it's kind of it's important for all of us to tell stories, to keep that alive and keep that information, and and those are important to share with family members and to share. So I think it's something definitely that we don't ever want to lose, and we don't ever want to get distracted from many other things that are going on, I guess.
Yep. Yeah. If you're going to the movies this weekend, today, or the weekend's about over for everybody, we had two big record breakers.
Yes.
This has been the biggest weekend for movies. Lilo and Stitch picked up $145.5 million over the weekend.
Love it.
And beat out Mission Impossible, got $77 million, which was the best for the series. This is the 8th one, and so that was the best it's done. So that's big money.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Lilo and Stitch, but we did eat from a Stitch popcorn bucket. But we did see Mission Impossible, which is really good, and so, and it's a 2 thumbs up on that. And I've heard about Lilo and Stitch, and I've heard it's absolutely adorable. So,
and there's all kinds of military movies that you could watch today. The Sands of Iwo Jima was on earlier with John Wayne, and that's a double bonus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think also there was he was in a couple other war movies. So the Green Berets, you could catch up today on some, maybe if you had a family member in one of those in a battle, then maybe watch a movie about it.
Yeah, maybe understand it a little bit. Well, there's a lot of good movies out.
Oh, The Longest Day, that was another one with John Wayne, right, about D-Day.
Well, today we are going to be in for a sunny day. We're going to get up to 71. We're right now currently at 56 degrees. Yep. 71 today. So if you are going to be grilling out those bratwurst hot dogs or chicken burgers, whatever, the bean burgers, whatever you're eating today, it looks like you're gonna have good weather, and it looks like for the memorial service up at Crown Hill, it'll be at 11 a.m. and it looks like we're gonna have some. It's gonna be 63 around 11, so it's still a little chilly, but we'll get up to 71 today. Tomorrow, you want to go ahead and get your outdoor activities done today, because tomorrow we are talking rain, 80% chance. Our high will be 65. For Wednesday, our 55% chance of rain. Our high will be 71. For Thursday, a 40% chance of rain. We're going down. 72 will be our high. For Friday of next week, looks like 45% chance of rain, 73. And next weekend, we're going to be sunny all weekend, actually. 77, 78, 81. And then Tuesday of next week, so 85 and 86. We're starting to get warm. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Everybody said, yes.
Keep cranking it
I know.
up.
I'm bringing good news, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Everybody should like the messenger of that.
Sending an 86. That's good stuff.
It looks like air quality index is 31, which is similar to yesterday about this time. It is considered good. So our air quality is good. So for anybody with breathing problems, it's this cooler is probably a little bit easier.
Yeah. Now, since we're kind of starting summer, summer doesn't start yet till June.
But
middle
this
of
is
June,
the unofficial
start of
yeah.
summer. What is the perfect way to make a s'more?
Oh, golly.
What, in your opinion, what do you think?
Okay. All right. I've never read instructions. Okay. So here's my take on it. Okay. I go ahead and I have the cracker ready.
Yep.
Okay. And then I have the chocolate sitting on the cracker. Okay. The graham cracker. Okay. Ready to go. What is it? Hershey's, the chocolate bar sitting on the cracker.
Do you do milk chocolate or dark chocolate?
Well, no. I know dark chocolate would be healthier, but I do the Hershey's, the milk chocolate. Although it's funny, especially when the girls were littler, it was hard I had to hide those because those would have been from you and them would have been eaten. So to make it to the actual ceremony of a s'more.
Thank God we never had a pantry.
I had hiding spots. Don't probably still there.
You still have hiding
probably
spots.
Yeah, I had to hide. Well, because for them to make it to the actual ceremony of a s'more was a huge degree of difficulty. But anyway, so I take the cracker, put the chocolate on there, and then I put the marshmallow in the fire. I like it a little burnt, okay? And then I put the marshmallow on top of the chocolate, and then I smash it, and it actually melts the chocolate, and from there on, heaven.
And down it goes.
Okay, let's hear now tell me how you're doing. Hang on, you're doing it wrong. Okay, tell me.
No,
tell me what I'm doing.
You've even made them in the microwave.
Yeah, that marshmallow blows up. Be careful with that, though.
Okay, but there's something about that crusty taste, a little bit burnt marshmallow.
I know, it is good.
Probably contributes to cancer, but
no. Before you tell about it real quick, Holly Thompson does this, which I think she's the only one person I've ever heard of doing this. She puts her marshmallow in the fire, gets a little bit burnt, and then takes that first layer off, and then puts the next layer in. I mean, she does layers.
Gets the skin off.
Yeah, like that, in each layer, which brilliant. I've not been able to try it yet, but that's on my to-do list. That's on my bucket list. I think that's a great idea. I want to try that. Okay, now go ahead.
Okay, it says the ideal marshmallow roasting time is 2 minutes and 37 seconds over medium heat. Well, I don't know about that, but anyway, dark chocolate gives it better flavor than milk chocolate.
Ooh.
It says to heat up the graham cracker for 12 seconds. I don't know how we would do that, because you can't stick your wingy stick through the
graham cracker.
The graham cracker. A perfect s'more has the ratio of 2 parts graham cracker to 3 parts marshmallow and 1 part chocolate. Okay, so I can see the 2 parts graham cracker because you have a top and a bottom.
Mm-hmm.
3 parts marshmallow. So they make square. Have you seen the big square ones?
Yeah, I've seen them. Yeah, I bought them one year. I think you've forgotten.
Yeah,
I did buy them one time for
They've even got the marshmallow with chocolate inside of it.
Which we bought those. Remember, we ate those not even warm. Remember, that was a road trip.
Road trip. Turn around. We got to go back.
Road trip.
Could you not even wait till we got home?
But those were good.
Most people agree that the marshmallow, 2 minutes and 37 seconds. I think that you'd end up with a charcoal briquette if you did.
I don't think people can wait that long. I feel like the pit crew. I feel like a pit crew on this.
You're holding it above the flame,
but 2 minutes.
You got to put it down into the fire a little bit, and then it flares up, and then you kind of wave it around or blow on it.
Or like if you want to, like for those that are like perfectionists, like you put it and you just rotate it.
Just get it a little
like
bit,
just go around and
around.
Yeah.
If you do use
but you said 2 minutes. Wait, 2 minutes? That's a long time.
2.5 minutes. Yeah.
That's like two commercials in it, almost a half.
That's a hot dog in 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
While tradition.
I always think in commercials.
No, that's true. They suggest if you're going to do dark chocolate, do one that's got at least 70% cocoa, which is you're getting more, higher, the more of the bitter taste.
Bitter.
Well, they say that if you, and I found this out a couple of years ago, the dark chocolate's better to eat because it's got that bitter taste, and you don't want to eat as much as you do the milk chocolate because it tastes better. So you can eat little pieces of dark chocolate to satisfy wanting something sweet, but you don't eat as much because it's not as some of it, unless you
had enough
the
of
high
this
dollar stuff.
Yeah.
The graham cracker provides a crunch and structure. Honey flavored graham cracker tastes the best. So there you go.
So the what now? The honey
grams would be the best.
Well, see, I try not to get the honey. I think that's almost too sweet when you're doing. Yeah.
I'm just. But, I don't know.
No, I know you're just the messenger. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying is that I always try to.
There's the picture
of the s'more. Yeah. And then it's funny though, like this is like when you make one and then like you stop to enjoy it, and like I wanted to stop and eat the whole thing and enjoy it, but then make me one, or oh, can I have a bite? It's like here you go.
And you got little kids, and you got to make them.
Yeah.
We get one, and then by the time it gets around, you get your
everybody's yes, and there it is. But they are really good. Now I'm kind of really wanting this more. So
all right.
So 2 minutes
and 37 seconds
in the flame, the marshmallow, and then did it say to put the? I know it said warm the graham cracker.
12 seconds. You'd have to have some kind of a pan, I guess.
Okay, so you warm the graham cracker, and then you put the chocolate on. I'm just trying to think if that's the order that where do you put the chocolate at?
Oh, you put
on the graham cracker. I'm not too far off then, if that's.
Yeah, I didn't actually say when to put the chocolate on. I would maybe put it on there. I don't know. Well, you could put the chocolate and the graham cracker in the microwave for about 12 seconds, and that'd probably start it on its way to melting.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to hustle the toasted marshmallow onto that pretty quick, or it would start to cool.
Well, I have had it where maybe I should worry about what kind of chocolate I mean, but where you have the graham cracker and then you put the chocolate on, and then when you put the marshmallow on, it doesn't melt the chocolate very, very fast, and you kind of have a chocolate that's not melting.
It's all those emulsifiers.
That's whatever. Maybe I should be worried a little bit, but sometimes it takes a little while for that. Yeah. So maybe warming up that graham cracker, maybe that's just like brilliant idea. Yeah. Mine exploding over here. Yeah. Grand idea. Right?
Something crawling up.
It's that marshmallow.
The ingredients in Hershey's chocolate is sugar, milk, chocolate, cocoa butter, milk fat, lecithin, which is a soy, and a natural flavor that they are not disclosing. A natural flavor. Okay.
All right.
Some products also include PGPR, which is a type of, the word of the day, emulsifier.
Yeah.
An emulsifier made from castor beans or soybeans used to improve the consistency of the chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
And a natural flavor used to enhance the chocolate's taste, which
we've learned about that. Yeah.
And that's when they don't tell you what it is. That's either their secret recipe or it's bugs or something.
I don't think so. Well, I know. Okay. All right. Onward ho. You're not going to ruin my s'more for me. Okay? I do know. Yeah, I do know. We learned all about the chocolate. Yeah, stuff. Yeah.
Well, you never know.
Yeah. Okay. This is a good news story. I'm going to change the subject real quick. A guy fishing in Pensacola Beach, Florida, saved a teenage girl from drowning last Thursday and didn't even have to get his feet wet. His name is Andrew Smith, and he can't swim because he has a seizure disorder, but he had his drone with him, so he used it to drop off her flotation device. Oh my goodness, this is so cool. She made it back to shore, tired but okay. That's pretty cool. All right, now this is another good story. Well, that's pretty cool, and it's nice that drones to use that to get that. That's pretty cool. He acted fast though. I mean, he did really good. A lady in Canada recently bought a vintage heart-shaped locket at a thrift store that had photos of a man and a woman from World War II. So she decided she couldn't keep it and went looking for the owner. I love this. She posted some photos on Facebook, and the couple's granddaughter saw them. They've since passed away, and she was thrilled to get it. She called it an example of the power of social media doing something good. See, there we go, right? I love that. Love that, love that. And I love that the Canadian lady actually took it upon herself to let's make sure and let's try to find the owner. I love that. It probably was very special to the granddaughter. All right. A guy in Seattle said his pet lizard recently saved his life. Okay. Let's read on. He was napping when his bearded dragon named Spike jumped on his face. It turned out there was a fire in the bathroom, and he slept through his smoke detector. He managed to put the fire out before it spread. His local fire department honored Spike this past weekend by making him an honorary member of the team.
Well, here's a picture.
Yeah. They photoshopped a tiny fireman's hat on his head. Yes. Yeah. Yep. The bearded dragons get big. Yeah. I think they're like you have to be really, I don't know, I've never had one, but I think you have to be real personal. Like when they're little, I think they're harder to keep alive, and you have to keep them warm and everything. And I think then, like after years, they get really pretty. I don't want one, and I don't have that relationship, but I think they get really close with their handler or their owner or person or their best friend or whatever you want to call them. So it's kind of cool though. So
yeah.
Well, I have a dog that jumps on my head, but I don't think I don't think there's a fire going on. I just think it's time to wake up. I can relate to that jumping on the face, but it's a different whenever it's a Dano or a bulldog. So, but anyway, it's time to get out of here. Want to wish everyone a happy Memorial Day, a safe Memorial Day, whatever your plans are. Please be safe, and let's keep remembering why we celebrate Memorial Day.
Remember those that
have fallen. Yeah.
Have, as Claude said, given the final measure.
Yeah. Claude said he does such a good job with his words.
Yep. And we'll be up today with some Reds. They're out in Kansas City this weekend. They just finished 3 games, of which they lost 2 to the Cubs.
Yeah.
2 that they could have won, but they did not. So they are tied now for 3rd place with the Brewers. 6.5 games out of 1st place. But anyway, they play today at 4:10, and we'll have that on about 3:40 for the pregame show. And then tomorrow night, the Pacers are back in action. And hopefully they can keep their lead and not let it get tied up. But I guess that makes for more drama.
Yes. Remember I said I think that they kind of like that. Yeah. And more revenue.
You can't let it get out of sight. So
no, definitely
better to go take care of business and go on.
Yeah. Love that. All right. Let's thank our sponsors this week.
Yes. Temple & Temple, Springs Valley Bank and Trust, Schneck Hospital, Louisville Bats, First Harrison Bank, McAllister Land Consulting, Marshall Monuments, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, Fox Pearly Wealth Management, Mama Rosa's, Americans for Prosperity, Salem Crossing, Walmart, and Mediview Healthcare.
All right. Thank you to our great sponsors. Everyone, let's have a beautiful Monday.
Beautiful. Happy Memorial Day.